class. We are presenting on Apple, and my name is Brian.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Ken.
So the company we have decided to report on is Apple. We have looked at their financial statements and from 2014 to 2018 and their annual report 10K from 2018 to help aid us in our analysis of the company. Although we have looked at the liquidity, solvency, and profitability ratios for the company, we have decided to report mostly on the profitability ratios, specifically their profit margin ratio, gross margin ratio, and return on total assets. From these ratios, we have found that their profits are steady throughout the years from 2014 to 2018, with the exception of a growth spike in 2015. So, Apple is an American multinational technology company that designs, develops, and sells consumer electronics, computer software, and online services. Apple Computers was founded by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak on April 1st, 1976. Their current CEO is Tim Cook, and their corporate headquarters are in Cupertino, California. As of September 2018, they employed 132,000 full-time employees. In August of 2018, they also became the first American public company to surpass $1 trillion in value. In December of 1980, Apple released their initial public offering of 4.6 million shares at $22 per share, and their current price of their stock is $207.16. Apple's top products are the iPhone, MacBook, AirPods, Apple TV, Apple Music, and Apple Watch. Some of their competitors are Dell, Microsoft, Samsung, Google, and Sony. And these are some of their products.
Okay, so from the graph here, it shows the revenue and gross profit of both Apple and their competitors, Microsoft. And as you can see, within the revenue and the gross profit, Apple has a much higher value than Microsoft. So these are the ratios that we use that helped us with our analysis. They're under profitability ratios. So we have the profit margin ratio, the gross margin ratio, and the return on total assets. The profits of Apple stayed steady until a spike in 2015 where it increased. It continues to be successful in generating profit. The return on total assets slightly decreased in 2016 and went up in 2018. With the information of our research, we found that over the course of 5 years, Apple's profits are shown to be gradually increasing with a bit of fluctuation. This could mean that they have been doing well with their business, gaining about the same amount of profit over the years. It is good that they are not having any big losses. We assume from our ratio analysis that the reason for Apple's 2015 spike in profits was because of their new and innovative products and services that they released that year. Some include Apple Watch, Apple Music, iPhone 6, and iPad Pro. And as you can see here from the iPhone 6 and the iPad Pro with its predecessors, that it is much bigger and has a faster processing speed.
So for our key factors, for our profitability margin, Apple's profit margin remains slightly the same. It increased slowly from 21% in 2014 to 22% in 2018. This is favorable because it shows that Apple is still gaining a profit for the products it is selling. For the gross margin, Apple's gross margin remained the same, which was around 38.5 to 38.3, and with a spike in profits in 2015. This is favorable because it means that Apple has a steady flow of income and it maintains Apple's income and long-term assets. For the return on total assets, the ratio shows that from 2014 to 2018, Apple's margin fell from around 18% to 16%. This is unfavorable because it shows that Apple is getting less of a return on assets than those of previous years. For our inferences, our conclusion is that Apple did well in terms of sales throughout 2014 to 2018. We have determined that Apple's sales remained relatively the same except in 2015. We assume that this was because of the different products they released that year. However, their profit margin has remained steady. And here's a quote from the CEO, Tim Cook. While it is disappointing to miss our revenue guidance, we managed Apple for the long term. And this quarter's results demonstrates that underlying strength of our business runs deep and wide. And we chose this quote because it really related to our evidence and our ratios, and it showed that we were along the lines of what Tim Cook had to say. So for recommendations, we recommend that Apple will have to continue to release innovative products to increase their profit margin, their gross margin, and their return on total assets. Also, Apple could collaborate with existing companies to make their products more appealing to the younger generation. They could partner with Fortnite, Supreme, Bake to create products and services that will create curiosity to the customer. And for the trend, in the next 5 years, Apple should continue to be innovative and capture the market by creating products that can change the way people interact with their technology. Here are our references, and that concludes our presentation.